Today, the United States of America is the only industrialized country not to have socialized healthcare. Hi, my name is Jack. I'm a political science student, and I've been very interested in this whole debate between public and private health insurance, and so I'm using this deliberative speech as an opportunity to do some more research into this debate between public and private health insurance. And my thesis is that the United States should implement socialized healthcare. But in this speech, I'm going to explain what's wrong with our current healthcare system, why socialized healthcare would be better, and how we could implement socialized healthcare in the United States while saving lower and middle class people money. All right, so the first thing that I want to make clear is that the United States healthcare system is a failure. According to Health Affairs, private health insurance companies deny twice as many claims as traditional Medicare does. Traditional Medicare is fully run and funded by the government. So when there's no profit incentive, a lot fewer initial claims are denied. But when you add that profit incentive, when you have these insurance companies' main goal to be making money, they're a lot more likely to at least initially deny a claim. The CEOs of these health insurance companies make tens of millions of dollars, especially a company like Anthem or United Health, which has like a 33% denial rate. 33% initial denial rate for claims. And they also have the richest shareholders as a result. And this is interesting. 17% of private health insurance expenditures go towards administrative costs. But in Medicare, traditional Medicare, only 5% of their expenditures go towards administrative costs. And so this has led some to believe that private health insurance companies are exaggerating how much money they need to operate their administrative business in order to just rake in more money. Because why do they need 3 times as much money as traditional Medicare in order to run their business? Or not business, but their organization. And socialized healthcare would definitely be an improvement on this, in my opinion. But first, I'd like to just explain what that is for you guys, because only 20% of the class said that they fully knew. 50% said they had little or no idea. So socialized health insurance is basically the idea of abolishing private health insurance and instead having the government pay for your healthcare. That's the most basic way that I can explain it. Some minor forms of private health insurance would still be allowed to supplement public health insurance, but almost everything would be paid for by the government instead of private insurance companies like we have now under universal healthcare or socialized healthcare. And it has been proposed multiple times in Congress as the Medicare for All Act. It's never passed either house, but it has been proposed many times, especially in the last 10 years since Bernie Sanders popularized the policy with his 2016 presidential campaign. Another point I want to make is that not only have other countries had it for decades with no problem, but even in this country, we already fund Medicare for some people, for people with disabilities, and for people, for elderly people. We already pay for their health insurance from the government in full. So it doesn't seem as crazy of an ideal to expand it to everyone when you already consider that we pay for people with disabilities health insurance and seniors health insurance. I just would like to reiterate this. It's from Health Affairs again. 8% of initial claims from traditional Medicare were denied. 16% from private health insurance were denied. And 17% from Medicare Advantage, which is privately run but publicly funded, were denied. That's from Health Affairs again. For my last point, I just want to point out how this will allow middle and lower class people to save money. So there's some slight variation in how it's been proposed to fund this and how we would balance the budget for this. But usually it's something along the lines of this, is that we'll put a 4% tax on income, all income that you make from $30,000 and above for single people, and $60,000 and above for married people. 4% income tax on that, and we use the funds from that in order to pay for everyone's healthcare. That would generate enough money in order to pay for everyone's healthcare. So the average individual, and this is according to the U.S. Census and the Kaiser Family Foundation, currently makes $45,140. That's the median individual income. Under employee-sponsored healthcare, they pay roughly $1,400. But under Medicare for All, they would pay just over $600 in taxes instead of that $1,400. So you'd be paying an additional $600 in taxes, but in exchange, you would not have to pay $1,400 in premiums for employee-sponsored health insurance. And for a married couple, for an employee-sponsored family healthcare plan, employee would pay roughly $4,000 a year to their employer for a plan like that. But under Medicare for All, they would pay just under $1,000 instead for the exact same plan. So for an individual, you're saving more than 50%. And for a married couple or a family, you're saving more than 75%. Sorry. All right. Well, thank you all for listening to me make the case for socialized healthcare. I just want to say the United States' current for-profit healthcare system has been a disaster for patients. By adopting socialized healthcare, we can get more people the care they need and save lower and middle-class people more money. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you.